Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Mars Barnsy, and I've got another little video for you here which I think you should find quite interesting, because I think, in my humble opinion, it shows you human faces sculpted into the surface of the planet Mars. This image was taken by the Mars Express orbiter by the European Space Agency. I think it was in 2004. Its resolution is 21 meters per pixel, but these are quite large sculptures. I think, looking at the measurement gauge at the bottom there, I mean these are about 10 kilometers approximately in length, so they're absolutely huge. This particular area is called Raoul Vallis. I think that's the way you pronounce it, so please forgive me if I've got that incorrect. And it's in the general direction apparently of the Hellas basin on the planet Mars. I'll put the details, the latitude and longitude and everything a little bit further down and link for you. And these two faces which I'm about to describe to you are both looking true north, because apparently north is on the left hand side of the image. So the first thing I want to do is just to increase the size of it so you can see it a little tiny bit closer. Because of the red saturation, the orange saturation, it's very difficult to actually see any details in these images when they originally come from ESA. So we've got to change the contrast and brightness a little tiny bit, and maybe desaturate the colours, just so we can start seeing some of the detail that's actually in the image. Because I want you to see these faces, you know, in my opinion, they're absolutely fantastic. Shows two human beings, very strong profiles, and they've both got beards as well, which is quite interesting. Just get me the pencil here. So this is the first face here, and this is the second face there, and they're both looking north. Both of them are looking north, this way, as you can see from the eyes. So if I just go to step back from these, I'll have to learn how to use the layers on this one day, but the information that I'm trying to pass here is more important than anything else. So anyway, I've magnified some of the images, some of the images of these faces, so that you can see them a little tiny bit clearer. So if I go to them now, this is unenhanced and I haven't changed anything about it whatsoever, this particular image here. So if we go to this particular folder and we can open up this one first. Okay, now that again, that's the original image, and it has not been changed in any shape or form. Okay, that's the original image. Okay, so if you come out of that. Now the next few images, I have altered the colours, I've altered the brightness, I've altered the sharpness. It's the only way to actually bring up the features. So I hope you can start seeing now exactly what I spotted several years ago. There's the first face there, don't know if you can see that. You can see the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and it's got little tiny structures, by the way, inside the mouth. And then we've got this beard here. There's most probably all sorts of structures all around here, but the resolution's just not good enough to discern them. These are what we can see. The only reason we see these is because they're so big. They're roughly 10 kilometers in length. Okay, so this is the first one. Now if you just follow this eye line across, we can see the next image, the next face. You see the eyes, You see a very straight nose, the curved nostril there. Can you see that? Very straight nose, the curved nostril, and he's got his lips there. Can you see that? The way they're curved a little tiny bit, and then he's got a big full beard here. You see that? He's got a long narrow beard, and this guy on the left has got like a big full beard, but they are beards. And at the bottom of the beard here are structures. These here are structures, buildings. Presumably you could go into these. If you go into the mouth here, you could go into the underground where presumably these people lived. Yeah, I hope you can see that. In the centre, cut out of the rock again, we've got, I'll just show you this, we've got 1, 2, 3, at least 3 smaller sculptures, and they seem to be carved out of the rock there. Yeah, I don't know, you can see that face in the centre. Can you see that face in the centre? The eyes, the nose, the mouth. So there's actually multiple sculptures here on this image. Okay, now we'll just go back. Just go back. You can open this one. Again, they're just slightly different colours. I'm trying to do my best to convey what I can see. Because I'm in front of the computer, I can see the resolution better. I can see them a lot better, lot more clarity than maybe you can, than you guys can. So I'm showing you them in different contrasts and colours. You can actually see the structures a little bit better on this. Only just, but you can see them like square buildings at the bottom of the beard, and in the mouth here. I don't know if you can see that. They look like circles, and they seem to go up into the mouth of the sculpture. You see that? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 or 6, and they look like individual buildings, and they go up into the mouth. And there's a couple here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. They look like circular objects from this distance, but they're also huge structures. And you can see the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the eyes. Very straight nose, large nostril, and a curved lip. You see that? And a big full beard. And it's got like some kind of bird, avian symbol on his head. It's part of his forehead there. Can you see that? Like a falcon, or an eagle or something like that. We can see that. So we've got 2 faces, and we've got this square area cut out, and we've got this actual little sculpture here is a woman, because you can see her breasts there. So you can see that with the face and the breasts. Then there's a face here, and it's wearing like a funny hat. So you can see the eyes, the nose, the mouth. It's quite clear on this particular image. Okay, so we come out of that one. Open up this one. I think this one is quite clear. Okay, I don't know whether you can see that a little bit. You can see the centre sculptures a lot clearer on this one, I think. You can see the face there with the funny hat. Then there's a face there, and then there's a face here of a woman. You can see the square alcove that she's resting in. Can you see that? You can see the shadows of the alcove either side of her, and she's slotted into that alcove. It's been cut out, and that sculpture is slotted into that alcove. You see her face and her breasts, the body, and then you can see the big face here with the eyes, big nose, and the mouth and chin. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 smaller sculptures in that square area. Yeah, and then we've got the main face on the left here, and then we've got the main face on the right. And if you have a look in the mouth, you can see them structures just a little bit clearer. hopefully. Can you see that? Round the mouth there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 structures all moving inside the mouth there. I know it's difficult to see, but I'm doing my best to make them as clear as possible for you. And you see the other sculpture, the other structures beneath the beard of this individual. And this looks like a path here. See this here? Looks like a path you can walk up. And this beard as well is a path, so you can walk up, walk up, walk up. And there's structures along here, see, that go in. Like say there's structures here, it's like a square structure there. There's structures here. I don't know if they can see that. There's all sorts of structures all over the place there. Well, I think you can see the faces very, very clearly. To me, the entire area is full of sculptures. You know, I think there's a face there as well, and the structures there. There's structures all over. I think the structures there, all over this image. Just that the smaller resolution is no 21 meters per pixel. You know, you're talking maybe 100 feet for every pixel that you can see, so it's very, very difficult to discern really, really small items. So we come out to that, and I think that is about as clear as I can make for you with these images. I just hope that you can see where I'm coming from with them. I do think that they are sculptured faces, human beings with beards, and it's on Mars, supposedly a dead planet. So either human beings come from Mars, or sometime in the past we colonized Mars. We had a more advanced civilization on this planet and we colonized Mars. But they are the type of questions we've got to start asking now, because if this is true, if my interpretation of what we're looking at is true, then we've got to question our entire human history. I mean, right to the core. We mightn't even be from this planet. We might be actually from Mars, if these images are to be taken, forgive the pun, at face value. Well, thanks very much for watching. I hope you found it interesting. Please subscribe if you want, or even just make a comment as to whether or not you think that there's something there. Tell me what you can see. I can see 2 human faces, and I can see other sculptures in the middle very clearly, to be honest with you. Anyway, thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you found it interesting, and I'll see you again very shortly. Thank you folks.